This is a PSA. So, in the video that you're about to see, I speak about Heartbreak High, and I speak for Darren. Not for very long, but I forgot that Darren's pronouns were they, them, and that this person is non-binary. So I say he the entire time. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. It's just that, I was remembering how they looked and not how they referred to themselves. And because their presence was more gay black man, I remembered the man and I forgot the scene that I thought was actually pretty funny, where they rang the bullhorn and were like, they, them. Like, he literally did that so that they literally did that so I would remember, and I still forgot. So you know what? I apologize, but I just wanted you guys to know that it was not intentional. I wasn't trying to stake a claim on their gender. And apparently the person who plays them, James Majug or something like that, or Majuz, they are also non-binary as well. So apologies, just wanted y'all to know, was not intentional. If you hear the he's, just pretend I'm Michael Jackson or something. Totally not intentional. Anyways, see you in the video. Bye bye. Hello? Is this thing on? Woo! What's up, guys? Your favorite mystic Siren Sims back at it again with another video. Today, we will be talking about Heartbreak High. Now, I'm gonna make a couple of videos about this, and some of them won't directly be related to this show. It'll be about what this show has inspired in me in terms of thought. I'm gonna be analyzing some things, because a lot of things happen in this show. And it made me think about a lot of things and come to terms with a lot of things within myself. Nothing profound like the human existence, but when it comes to like tropes and TV analytics, I've definitely realized that there are some things that I've seen that, I've seen that some things are a thing based on this show. But let's just go into the regular format. I'll tell you my overall thoughts, then I'll go into character by character with whatever names I can remember. Okay, so Heartbreak High. This is the non-spoiler review, so I'll just give a small summary, then I'll give my thoughts. Okay, and then I'll go into character by character. Okay, so general summary. It is about two best friends, Harper and Amory. Their friendship gets dissolved after their wall of hookups has been leaked, called the incest map, right? This map has a record of everybody in their grades hookups over the last few years. So when that gets out, everything falls to crap and there are consequences, and that is technically where the show starts off. It gives us a little bit of background on the two best friends, and then it goes into the consequences of the map being shown throughout the school. And then everything else ensues. what was my thoughts? I thought it was going to be interesting, and then I was just kind of like, oh, okay. Now, it wasn't necessarily very predictable in terms of everything. It was a decent balance of predictable and unpredictable, but I didn't always enjoy it. I felt like there were certain things that were just being forced on me, you know, in terms of just tropes. And there are some things I just didn't care for, you know? Like being forced to understand somebody just because something bad has happened to them, despite how terrible they act. I've never liked that trope. Like, there are other shows that I've watched where, like, I have stuck to my guns and vehemently just not given a crap about any character that is a terrible character just because something bad happened to them. And I mean characters who aren't villains, right? Villains, they come out being terrible. So if you give them a level of depth of character to where good and bad is seen, then that's different. But if it's somebody that's technically supposed to be a good person, and then all of a sudden you throw all of this depth of character of terrible shit that's been happening, what do you expect me to do? You expect me to give a crap? Do you expect me to care about these people? Why would I care? I feel like personally, I feel like TV shows have always tried to do this. They've always tried to get people to, you know, go for it in different ways, shapes, and forms. It's the weirdest thing ever. It's like, what, you know? So this show is a 6 out of 10. It was a 5, but they gave a few twists and turns. You know what? Fuck it. It's a 5.5. Because now that I'm thinking about the twists and turns, they're worth enough. It's a 5.5. It's not bad. It's just average. This show is just average, okay? I think some of the hype that I'm already seeing for this show is a little unwarranted. And it goes to something else that I'm probably going to have to make a video about. Seeing yourself versus having good writing. Which is, oh, don't be mad at me. Do not be mad at me, okay? I am not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but there is a level of people just being so happy that they are in something rather than that thing being good. And I feel like, you know, and now I feel like there is just a whole lot of tragedy in this show. So let's just get into the show. Let's go into character by character. So let's just get into it, because I don't think this video is going to be very long, because I have other thoughts that will probably take up other videos. So just look out for that. This will just be my spoiler reviews, thoughts, character by character, people I can remember. Let's talk about the principal. I liked her. I don't know what the consensus is on the principal, but for the most part, I agreed with 90% of what she was saying. Even when what happened to Jojo happened to Jojo, and Jojo's first thought was, why did you not defend me? All I was thinking was, it's hard. Like, as the principal, she should always try to take the side of the student unless it's obvious, you know? So it's like, for the most part, I was on that teacher's side. I could see why she was doing the things that she was doing. So, yeah. Good person. I like her. She's funny. She's interesting. And she's just a normal authoritarian type of teacher that's nice. Like, I liked how she even told her, like, you got too close to them. It's not about being liked by them. They don't care about us. If it was us versus them, it would be, you know. And I know it's like, but they protested for the team. Yeah, because when push came to shove, they realized that she didn't do anything wrong, and the show is letting these kids have some sort of moral compass. But in regular, real life, the principal is 1000% correct. Okay? Okay. Jojo. I liked her, and then I didn't like her. Now I'm whatever with her. When she kept, like, pushing Amory to just be okay with what happened with Harper, just to get over it, or kept blaming Amaury for the product of their feud, right? So it wouldn't even be like Amaury doing anything. It would just be like, well, because they're in a fight, things are gonna happen, and whatever collateral damage, Amaury. It's like, stop blaming Amaury for stuff. Calm down. Like, y'all are doing the absolute most. Okay. Okay, let's move forward to second-rate characters now. Anthony. Is he bi? Is he not? Do we care? Apparently his mom's uber religious, so he probably is in the closet. I guess they were heavily referring to that. Who cares? But he's a douche, he's an idiot. I guess he's the himbo. But when the himbo hangs with the assholes, he's not really considered a himbo, because himbo's supposed to have a heart of gold and Ant doesn't really. But I think he's a himbo if a himbo is on the wrong side of the tracks. So, dumb himbo, we don't love him. Next character. I want to get into Spencer, aka Spider. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I'm sorry, guys, that's all I was thinking about when I heard him. Brooding 25-year-old teenager, because he's not hot. There is an epidemic. Like, this particular actor and Austin Abrams, I think, they're both men who would be what's his name, Bryn Chapman Parrish, that's his name. These are men who would be so much more attractive if they had more lips. Just a little bit more. Just add like a little bit of a layer of a line. Then they would be hot. It's like they have the body, they kind of have the look. Because they don't have no lips, it makes them look older and just makes them not look as attractive. I'm just saying. Don't shoot the messenger. However, when we get into Spider, he's an interesting character, right? So he's had it out for Amaury since the beginning. He's like I said before, in the Do Revenge video, he's just the popular white guy. And so with that trope comes the air of misogyny. But unlike Austin Abrams' character, Bryn Parrish's character showed some of that. They showed his asshole tendencies. So when the reveal came about, I actually thought it was going to be worse than it was, because they showed us enough for me to believe that he did something vile, you know. And what he did was terrible. He did something terrible. But that was more of a collaborative effort. So to me, like, okay, here's what I thought, right? I thought that, like, Spider assaulted Harper or assaulted Amaury. That's what I thought. He didn't do that. The worst thing he did was join in with Dusty to frame the teacher to try and cut off the sluts thing. But that's what I thought. And the reason why I thought that is because the writing did well enough that I could believe that he was capable of the worst. And that's fine for me. I'm okay with that. It's not like in Do Revenge where you know, you only know that because they characterize him as the popular white kid, and so the popular white kid obviously must... No. Show me something. Like, show me he's an asshole. Like Spider. You could see that Spider was an asshole, but there was an air there, and you weren't able to fully see it, so they did a little bit of exposition, but it was fine, because you weren't really going to be able to tell unless they expositioned a little bit. So Spider has had a crush on Amaury for the longest. And he finally got to have a chance at her at the coveted festival concert. But he was drunk as hell, so he whiskey dicked. And so he wasn't able to get it up for her. And it wasn't very enjoyable after the kissing, so she stopped and kicked him out. And so that's why he decided to be... No, I think she said that he was uncharacteristically nice to her that night. So he must have been an asshole the whole time. But since she kind of turned him down, right, and embarrassed him, he decided to turn it up a notch, especially after the mat came out. So he was even worse of an asshole to her. I'm calling her a bitch every chance he got. So that's Spencer. Spencer is the misunderstood misogynist who decides to be an asshole because he couldn't get the girl that he wanted. Don't we all know a guy like that? Anyways, I did like that he liked Amory because I like to see depth, and it does show a depth of character. I was kind of hoping that maybe he wasn't a complete asshole, maybe he became one because he was, told no by Amory, but whatever, it's okay. Next character, let's go into Malachi because I feel like it. Didn't even need to be in the show, to be honest. Almost everything that happened, 90% of the show could have gone on without him. He was just there to give Amory a chance to not be fawning on over Dusty after what happened with Dusty and Harper. He was kind of interesting, but I'm sorry, I just can't, okay, the cop thing happened, right? And then immediately after that, you just sleep with her ex-best friend, who she has issues with. And we're just supposed to be all kumbaya for you because you got roughed up by a cop? Personally, I just didn't care. Unpopular opinion, I don't really care about Malachi. He's cute, but where are your morals? Where is it? Where are the morals of any of these characters? Where are they? I don't get it. Y'all be flip-flopping and doing whatever you want to do, and I'm just supposed to sit here and be okay with it because you got hurt. Right? So, for example, I'm just supposed to like Harper, even though I have no reason to like her until the last 2 episodes. I'm just supposed to like Malachi, even after all the dumb stuff that he did. I'm just supposed to like him. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that, okay? No. Alright. Malachi is okay, but I just don't care for his character. It's whatever. Next character, Dusty. So, Dusty. He got the Paxton Hall Yoshida treatment. Okay? The unattainable hottie, just out there, just ooh. And why'd you do this to his character? What was the point? I feel like you villainized Spider enough that he could have just done the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying that him and Amory had to end the show off together, even though I am a romantic when it comes to TV. But it's him being the one that framed her. Really? It's not that it felt out of character. Because once again, because I gave the show this for Spider, but I take it back now when it comes to Dusty. They made him seem like he was kind of normal. The only red flag is that Spider could say anything, and for the most part, Dusty wouldn't say anything, which I guess is supposed to show us that he's not that nice of a guy, but bro, what am I supposed to do about that? What am I actually supposed to do about that? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Y'all don't even understand how annoying it was to hear him admit to all of this stuff. Because it's you really messed up her life because you didn't want to be in a proactive sex ed class anymore. Because that's literally what happened, They didn't want to be in sex ed anymore. So they decided to fuck shit up. Is it really that serious? Is it? Because I don't think it's that serious, personally. I don't think it matters that much anyhow. I'm really confused as to why this is even a thing. But, that's what happened. He was the unattainable guy. He was drunk one night and slept with Harper and then decided that he liked her. And I'm going to get into this. Let me just breeze through the characters, then I'll get into some of the tropes that I might make longer videos about. Then after that, Harper was feeling conflicted and going through stuff, so she dumps him. And then she, finds out she has chlamydia and has to tell him about it. Then he realizes that he should have paid more attention to Amory because she was really there for him and really had his back. Well, yeah, too late, sir. But then he ends up fucking her over, so that's done. So Dustin, yeah. Wolf in sheep's clothing, Trojan horse, the nice popular guy who really isn't that nice. Which is how I feel about all the guys in that group. No. Anyways, next person. Let's get into Amory's friends. Missy, irrelevant. She was just there as a plot device to throw the works into Quinni and Sasha's relationship, and to have an ambiguous brother there to drag Malachi out of trouble and give him a season 3 boys retreat in the woods. Who cares? Next character. Sasha. I don't like her. Okay, I don't. It's like so weird for you to be so woke, but then so insensitive at the same time. And I'm going to make a video of extrovertism versus introvertism. And I know that that's not fully it, because, you know, Quinni is more extroverted than I am, personally. But I do feel like some of what was happening in their relationship had to do with a difference in base personalities. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what I'm talking about when I talk about opposites attract relationships not being everything. Okay? This is what I'm talking about. Because, you know, people think I'm just, you know, being too analytical or whatever. But, like, this is what I'll be talking about. So, Sasha comes out of nowhere liking Quinni. Quinni likes her back. And then they have a few bumps in the road in their relationship because she doesn't understand Quinni. And she's trying to understand, but she doesn't. And she lets her ableism get in the way. And her extrovertism. I'm going to say it. Her extrovert. This is my personal headcanon, okay? Doesn't have to be what the writers intended. I didn't do research on interviews on what they wanted. This is my raw thoughts, okay? I think Sasha is insensitive. Which is crazy because she's gay and all about saving the environment. How are you insensitive towards somebody who's autistic? Like, have common sense, sis. And I have a brother who's autistic, so, you know, I took it very personally. Like, I took the whole scene where she was acting like a butthole very seriously. Because I'm like, Miss Ma'am, okay, I get it. She's zoning out when you are talking about your stuff and you don't like that. So what, you tit for tat? And then tell her that she's not normal enough for you? But then swear that that's not what you mean? I'm so sick and tired of people saying things and then being like, but don't take it that way though. Well, you're not like everybody else. But I don't mean that you're abnormal, though. It's technically the whole crux of the arguments in their relationship. Like, Miss Ma'am. Like, doing the absolute and her friendship. Like, why I didn't go too deep into Missy is because she was shown as being a bit bitchy. So when she decided to drop on Marie, it's whatever. But Quinni was shown to have a bit more of a heart. But she's terrible. And that includes what happened to Harper as well, right? It's like I would have at least thought that she would have picked a side and stuck with it. No, but as soon as it looked like Harper may have been at fault, and what kills me is that Harper was always at fault. Harper was always at fault. But you just decided that you didn't care until it got a little too ridiculous. You know? Like, ooh. Yeah, you can make out with our friend's crush and have sex with him. But having a threesome with her current boyfriend, that's too much. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Especially with girls, the amount of adrenaline emotionally to a best friend kissing somebody that we like, that we've never had a relationship with, versus somebody that we're in a relationship with, the emotions can feel very similar, even though they're not, and be just as strong. So I don't get it. Sasha's a bitch. I don't like her. But she's useful. So, plot device. Next character. Who else am I going to talk about right now? I feel like I'm missing somebody very important. Or am I really just... Oh, no. Let's get into Quinni. I was shocked that she was autistic. But, you know, this is actually the kind of inclusion I want to see. Diversity I want to see. I'm sick and tired of the diversity being people that are overweight or people that are black or white. I get that, but like show some diversity within that as well. So I liked that there was somebody who was autistic, and I liked how they showed, which is a fact, that some girls, I'm not going to say most because I'm not sure, some girls who are autistic are able to appear more normal or mask. I actually do know that term, mask. I said that brother's autistic. But like, they're able to mask better than men would, or better than some other autistic people would. So when she and Queen had that conversation, and she's like, I couldn't even tell. Yeah, because sometimes girls who are autistic are just seen as quirky and weird and not mentally challenged. So I liked that. I liked the little show of her mental issues. I really enjoyed that. I like the show of her just enjoying something, because that happens with autistic people as well. They gravitate towards things and they hang on to it. So she hung on to that book series and that art style and that aesthetic. And one of the reasons why I was upset with Sasha is because, like, she's not even that extra. She just likes to read fantasy novels. And yes, because she's autistic, she might only be obsessive over one type. But it's not that hard to just listen. She's already halfway as extroverted as you. Which means she'll go to the parties and to the events and to the whatevers. She might not go every single time, but like, she'll go more often than other people who are possibly autistic. So it's like, for Sasha, like, she kind of like won the lottery in terms of, you know, because like Quinny has is better abled than some of the people in her spectrum. So it's like, bitch, like, be lucky that you have what you have. You know, because some people got it way worse out here, and we're not gonna play these games with you. I'm not gonna play these games with you. I feel so sorry for her. You know, she's having that moment with the writer, and Quinny just was not getting it. She said, I think I want to be a writer. Quinny just didn't care. She was just throwing it, not Quinny, Sasha just didn't care. Just throwing it back in Quinny's face. And they kept having this back and forth of conscience, you know? Who wants to take drugs and who doesn't want to take drugs? Who's interested in geeky stuff, who isn't interested in geeky stuff, you know? This is why I need to make a video about introvertism versus extrovertism, because I'm so sick and tired of TV romanticizing the extrovert lifestyle. Like, it's not that serious. It really isn't. So I'll make a video about it, don't worry. Anyway, Quinny, I actually like her character. Don't really care for her relationships, but I like her as a person, and I will defend her. Alright. Let's get to the best character. Darren! Look, Darren is gorgeous. Darren is a pretty young boy, pretty young man. When I saw him, I was so upset. I'm like, does he have to be gay? Because he's so cute. Like, he's so cute to me. Like, oof, my God. I like him. And he was great in this show. He was really interesting. They gave him a lot of screen time, and they developed him, right? They didn't just make people no, let me stop that. Because they did. But you know, it's a little bit weird to me, you know? What's the point of making people gay out of nowhere when you can just, you know, be about your business with the people who are already here? Okay? Anyways, so I loved Darren's fashion. Half of the stuff he was wearing, I was like, I want to wear that. Can I wear that? I think I should wear that. I loved his outfits. So, one thing that I did like was his relationship with Cash, you know? And I really enjoyed the progression of that relationship and what they showed about his family. He was just a really fabulous person, right? And I loved him. It's as easy as that. Okay? Alright. So apparently he had some issue with Cash possibly being, what's the word? Possibly being asexual. And we're gonna get into Cash in just a second, because once again, like Quinny, I really liked that level of representation, because it was surprising, because you just don't see that, okay? And I mean normally. Sure, I'm sure there's a show with only asexual people in there, or shows with only people on the spectrum on there, you know? But in terms of making it normal by just randomly adding them in, that is what I was really hoping for, you know? And so I was really happy to see that. So I got to see that, and I'm happy. So just to finish up with Darren's character, he was my favorite character. I enjoyed having him on my screen, and he's the reason that this show wasn't a 3 out of 10, okay? He brought this show up to a 6, but I had to lower it back down because of other tropes that I didn't like. Okay, next character, Cash Mooney, or Dougie. So, he was just a thug. The thug with a heart of gold, I guess. And then out of nowhere, he's gay. And he likes Darren. And it's okay. It's cool. What I did like, though, is how he showed up as asexual. Now, I don't know if it's confirmed. Like I said, I didn't do any research. But that, alright, is what I was thinking. Right? I'm like, okay, I think he's asexual. And that's crazy. Because, like, if he's really asexual, right? Oh, I don't know. I've never seen it in a TV show before. I know that technically Jughead Jones is supposed to be asexual, but they've retconned that many times in the comics. Sometimes he doesn't care about anybody but food and his dog, and other times he does care about girls, so he doesn't count, okay? I liked that characterization for Cash, and I liked his little running to the school just to tell Darren how he felt, and then getting locked up. That was cute. Anyways, next character. Let's get into Harper. Harper! Turn your lights down low. So, I didn't like her. Now I'm indifferent, right? But I didn't like her. I didn't like her at all. Why? If you don't say anything, you can't be justifiably mad, right? Like, you can be mad for a second, but mad to the point where you're fighting people, and you're shitting on them, and you're starting rumors, and you're fucking with people's boyfriends, and you're taking with people's crushes. Like, no. And no, seeing that she saw that she ignored her that one night doesn't count. Because she tried to talk to her after that. And instead of being angry at her and being like, why the fuck weren't you there for me then? She decided to spiral and then shit on her. And I'm not saying I don't understand, but for me as a watcher, I am not going to gravitate towards her just because she had a hard time as it relates to Amir, right? When it relates to Amir, I'm Team Amir, because I've never been the type of person who's just been here for people just ghosting people and treating people terribly. Like, I've been through that. So I actually related to Amir with that, right? Because I've had like a friendship where like, yo, we were like really close really fast. It wasn't as long term as theirs, thank God, because that probably would have made it feel so much worse. But it was for like a good chunk of time. And then all of a sudden they stop talking to you, and then when they finally do decide to respond to your what happened text, the answer is that you're childish or you and them just don't make sense anymore. So honestly, I can relate to Amira being like, or Amiri, whatever her name is, being like, wow, I can't believe this is happening. So no, I wasn't on her side at all. Okay, I feel terrible for what happened to her, but in terms of her being angry at her best friend, I'm not on her side. With everybody else though, fine. But when it comes to her and her best friend, I'm not taking your side on that. Like, I understand you were upset, but like, you did the absolute most. The absolute most. I'm sorry, I can't. So she just spirals and keeps spiraling and keeps spiraling. For some strange reason, her friends just back her instead of Amiri. Even though if they were friends, they should have known damn well that if Mary did the map, then obviously Harper did the map too. Doesn't really matter who started it. They were both accomplices. And I thought that was so annoying. Like, everybody else being mad at just Mary was weird to me. It's like, so we all just go sit here and pretend that we don't know that Harper also did the map? And the way Harper just sat there and let her take it too. I'm sorry guys, I'm not here for that. She literally just sat there and let her take all of that. And I'm just supposed to be here like, oh, it was well deserved because she abandoned her best friend. No, it's not well deserved. Are you out of your mind? So if someone ignores you one night, that means that you have the right to make their life a living hell? That's what we're telling the children now. No, not on her side with that at all. She was acting like a crazy person the entire time, and we were just supposed to just take that because we as the audience knew that something happened that night. And let's talk about that, right? The festival looming over us. What happened at that festival, right? And I knew that something happened at that festival. And I knew that whatever happened at that festival, it means that we're supposed to just be okay with her behavior. Right? Whatever happened at that festival, we're just supposed to be okay with it. In terms of her behavior, right? It's like, oh, something obviously happened at the festival, so we're just supposed to be okay with her behavior because something happened at the festival. Nope. No. I'm not like that. I'm the type of person who's just going to, like I said before, I'm not just going to like somebody just because they were hurt. No, I don't have to hate them, right? Them getting hurt or going through trauma stops me from hating them. But I don't gotta like you. I really don't gotta like you. So I just don't like Harper. I'm sorry, guys. Their makeup was cute, but it was annoying because they could have done this episodes ago. Her not telling her what happened made zero sense. If they took that long, okay, let's be realistic. Since this show was trying so hard to do that, fine. She couldn't tell her immediately. Why'd you wait months? I mean, she went as far as trying to protect her from chlamydia, but you couldn't tell her how you felt. And then that too, right? She tries to somewhat apologize after it comes out that she was sleeping with Dusty, but then she also is just like, but you're still a terrible person though, without explaining to her what happened. Like, can we have that conversation, or we're just not gonna have it? Okay, fine, we're just not gonna have it then. Whatever, guys. I just don't like Harper. Unpopular opinion, okay? I like some of her grunge style, but I just don't like her. I felt sorry for her with the dad thing. That was like real conjuring. But when it comes to her and Amory, I'm just not here for it. I'm not here for the gaslighting when it comes to Amory, so no. Next character, last character, Amory. I didn't really like her much either, but I liked her more than Harper, so you could just say I liked her. I felt so sorry for her. People just kept blaming her for everything. You know, blaming her alone for the map, blaming her for Harper's mental state, low-key. Like, no, they weren't overly blaming her for that, but there was very much undertones and moments of like, I can't believe you're not more sympathetic towards her, or I can't believe that you don't understand what's happening, or I can't believe that like you don't get it. And it's like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why should she care? She's been trying for weeks to talk to this girl, to reignite their friendship. And nothing, and cold shoulder, and sleeping with my crush, and then dating him after I tried to make up with you? No. No. Stop blaming her. Teachers blamed her. Friends blamed her. That's why I thank God for Darren and Quinni, who were just on her side the whole time. I wasn't trying to hear the bullshit. Because what exactly are you trying to do here? What exactly is the point? Let me know. Let me know what the point is, because I don't get it. I don't get it. Justice for Amory. She's not the best character at all, but I wasn't going to stand there idly by while y'all just blame her for everything when she literally did nothing. The only people that she should be apologizing to is Darren and Quinni, and she did that. She apologized for being bitchy towards them, and then they became friends instantly. Now, usually I don't really like plots like that, because it's like, if you wasn't trying to hang with them before, why are you trying to hang with them now? But I let it slide, right? Because she was bitchy, and she acknowledged that, and she had some misconceptions, and she acknowledged that, okay? So, that is whatever. But yeah, overall thoughts of the show, it's going between a hard 5, soft 6. It's a 6 out of 5, 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I just didn't love it, guys. It felt like watching Grand Army, but being more gaslit than I was when I was watching Grand Army. The parallels between this show and Grand Army are like spectacular. It's like, what is even happening here? Like, I'm so confused. I'm just like, ugh, I don't know. This is getting way too long. So, yeah, I'm about done here, guys. I'll have some other videos talking about the tropes that I saw in this show. So it won't be exactly about the show. It'll just be more about my thoughts on TV itself that I got from watching this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this. If you like the show, just say why. If you disagree, just say why. No need to be rude. If you have to dislike it, go ahead. But, you know, let's just have some discourse and talk about it, because I want to hear what you guys have to say. It's not like Do Revenge, where I don't really care to hear other people's opinions. I do want to hear your opinions on this, because I will say this about the show. It did a very good job of being realistic, but I didn't want the realism of it to be an excuse for me to like it. So anyways, let me know your thoughts below. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye, Sima Susu.